Welcome everyone to Fanboy Frenzy, your one-stop shop for political and pop culture conversation. I am your host, Ryan Jarvis, and for this special episode, we're going to touch on both politics and pop culture when we discuss why is it that Zelda Breath of the Wild seems to really speak to the inner libertarian in all of us. This idea actually came from an article from the Libertarian Republic website. And I think that the writer's name was Micah Fleck, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely go check out some of his work. He does great work for that website. But he was talking about the ideas of how Zelda Breath of the Wild has become such a runaway hit, breaking so many records and going on to be one of the highest rated video games of all time. Now granted, it ain't got shit on Duke Nukem, but at the very least it's going to get an amazing rating. From all the fanboys and fangirls out there, because let's face it, Zelda is one of the most iconic franchises in gaming history. It is one of the most iconic franchises in pop culture history. But what does it have to do with politics exactly? Because Fanboy Frenzy is all about meshing that line between politics and pop culture. Well, let me tell you, based off of Micah's analysis, he feels that the reason that Zelda Breath of the Wild is so popular is because it does speak to the inner libertarian in everybody. I mean, he doesn't go as in-depth into the gaming vernacular, but let me just make a mention that we've all heard of the idea of linear and non-linear games. If you go play the original Super Mario Brothers, your ass was on the left side of the screen, you had to make it to the right, that's it. Get around all these different obstacles and enemies and whatnot, but ultimately, it all came down to getting your ass from left to the right side of the screen. That's a linear game. There's only one way to go, or it's death. Or you just stand there. There's nothing else to do. But in a non-linear game, or an open world game, as he references, open world games are super popular, whether it's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, whether it's Grand Theft Auto, any game that really allows you to explore. If you go back again to the original Mario, compare it to the original Legend of Zelda. The original Legend of Zelda was essentially that NES version. It was pretty much an open world game in some respects. Granted, it's a bit crude considering, what we get today entitled open world. But the bottom line is you had an entire map you could kind of explore in your own terms, find different secrets and such. That really appeals to that freedom-seeking personality that I think is in the middle, is in the heart of every human being. I think most people, whether they agree with it or not, maybe they don't understand what a libertarian is, but a libertarian really just wants freedom. I think about the Honorable Dr. Ron Paul, and he used to say, and Micah actually references this in his article, is that freedom is popular. The idea that you can do what you want, when you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody directly. Of course, in the case of Zelda, and you're killing Octoroks and shit, you can hurt them. But in real life, as long as you don't physically hurt your neighbor, then you should be able to do pretty much what you want. And I think that is what really is, and he makes up a great point here, is I think that is the difference between a conservative or a libertarian and then a person who's a progressive liberal. You see, the idea is, to me, I look at liberals as very linear. You have to do it their way, and that's it. There is no other way. They are the equivalent of Super Mario Brothers on the NES when it comes to my own personal opinion. Whereas a libertarian is more about Zelda. A libertarian is more about, hey, go out and explore this world in your own terms, in your own time, and whatever method you choose to use to do the exploration. Hell, if you want to climb to the top of that mountain and see if you can float down, you can do that. If you're playing Grand Theft Auto and you've had a shitty day, or you got pulled over by the popo because you, quote, fit the description of a known criminal, end quote, you can go out and have an assault. You can go straight ham on the police in the game and have the whole fucking police chief, the whole army, everybody in the police chasing your ass all across the city, a citywide manhunt. You can do that if you want. Or you can just go drive around for 2 hours and listen to the great music that they have on the radio stations. But ultimately, it comes down to the difference between being able to make a decision for yourself as to what it is you want to do with your life, or having someone else make it for you. If you play a linear game, if you go with that liberal logic, you will constantly give yourself over to them. Like Super Mario, you will essentially be stuck doing the same thing over and over again with no ability to make your own decisions, no ability to come up with your own thoughts, no ability to actually be able to express an opinion any different than their own. But if you stick to the way of Zelda, if you stick to that open world mentality politically, then you would have to go more libertarian and understand that it doesn't matter who you bang in the bedroom. It doesn't matter what music you like to listen to. It doesn't even matter to take that information and essentially support your claim, if you will. Ultimately, I think the article, even though it wasn't wanting to go that in depth, it just really wanted to speak to why open world games are so popular. But I gotta say, Micah, thumbs up from the Fanboy Frenzy Army, because I think that article really does speak volumes, and there's a deeper level here, which hopefully we're giving you in this quick 2 or 3 minutes, just kind of going over the differences between a linear and an open world game. But just keep in mind, everybody, you have to really be mindful. Be mindful of the different logics. Be mindful of the different ideologies out there, because I'm going to reiterate it one more time. If you're a liberal and you have that really hard progressive mindset, you are the equivalent, be happy, of the original Super Mario. Yeah, you might have some success, but ultimately there's only one way you can go. In my mind, Fanboy Frenzy Army, let's vote to stick the way of Zelda and be much more open world when it comes to the adventures of life that we go out and set forth on every single day. Everybody, this is just a really brief little episode. I hope everybody enjoyed this video dealing with that libertarian open world freedom mindset that I think most of us have, and why it's so popular and why you should employ it more in your political decisions moving forward. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed it, and I ask you to please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. We have so much planned as we've rebooted Fanboy Frenzy and made it more about news and entertainment. We have so many game reviews that'll be coming up as well, as long as walkthroughs. We have skits, we have documentaries even, that are coming up very, very soon that we can't wait to get out to you. Please make sure you not only like and subscribe, but take time to go to our website, www.fanboyfrenzy.com. You can see daily updated news headlines from all over the world, dealing with both news and entertainment. There's no reason for you to visit 10 websites a day to get all your information. Just visit one, and that's fanboyfrenzy.com. Also, we ask you to please double check our website, facebook.com/fanboyfrenzy and twitter.com/fanboyfrenzy for a lot more information there as well, and get intertwined with the rest of the Fanboy Frenzy Army. And again, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go out and check out Zelda Breath of the Wild if you haven't already. It is definitely well worth your money. Worth the price of admission, if you will. But again, let me leave you with this. Politically, whatever decision you make sure you err on the side of open world. Until next time, we'll see you soon.